move on to connection. And this is another practice. So if you have a yoga ball, or not a pregnancy ball, whatever you want, an exercise ball like that, beautiful to sit on that. I tend to just sit. I have basically like a dining room chair and with some pillows on it. It's padded, but I just kind of sit on the corner and I straddle, and my legs are kind of far apart like the women in this picture. Now, what we're doing is trying to cue in to how our breath and our pelvic floor connect. And as we breathe, how our pelvic floor responds to the breath. So ideally, now you may not observe this today, and that's okay. But ideally, and what is normal for your pelvic floor and your breath is when you inhale, your lungs are expanding, so your breathing diaphragm comes down. And so should your pelvic floor. So you should feel your pelvic floor come down or descend or become heavier onto the surface you're on. And then with your exhale, your breathing diaphragm contracts and rises to help the air go out of your body. And so should your pelvic floor slightly rise or become less heavy on the surface you're sitting on. You're not doing a Kegel contraction or any active contraction beyond just breath. So start by closing your eyes and just observing the breath flowing in and expanding your body. And then as you exhale, observing how your body gets smaller, and imagine that rising of the diaphragm, the breathing diaphragm. And then inhale, it expands, everything expands. And then exhale, everything comes together. And then inhale, it expands, more pressure comes into your body. Exhale, that pressure releases and becomes less as your lungs expel the air. Inhale and exhale. A couple more, just focusing on that expansion with the inhale. Exhale, becoming smaller, rising. Now with your next inhale, see if you can observe a lowering or making heavier sensation through your pelvic floor as you inhale. It's kind of more of an opening too, downward onto the surface you're on. And then as you exhale, like this gentle rising or lifting of the pelvic floor, not a Kegel. Inhale, a lowering. Exhale, a rising. Inhale, a lowering. Exhale, a rising. Beautiful, beautiful. Keep going for a few more breaths, trying to observe the lowering as you inhale. A little bit more heaviness through your south pole. Exhale, that heaviness subsides as the pressures rise. Inhale, descend. Exhale, rise. Inhale, descend. Exhale, rise. A couple more on your own. Last one. Beautiful.